What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to World According to Briggs and a video about states where you have the best chances of being killed on the road. The Department of Transportation ranks states by auto accidents, auto injuries, and fatalities. They do a bunch of other stuff, but today we're just looking at the stat about people that go to the great beyond from behind the wheel. Road fatalities aren't just about bad drivers. Infrastructure plays a big part. Bridges, roads, highways are all part of infrastructure, and if they're in bad shape or haven't been updated in a while, this leads to a higher rate of road fatalities. There's a bunch that goes into this, like weather, drunk driving, auto defects, but I found it very interesting that almost every state on this list is considered to have poor roads and infrastructure. All right, the way they rank this one is by how many fatalities per 100 million miles the residents drive each year. If we looked at the most fatalities overall, Texas, California, Florida, and all the other states that have a bunch of people would be all over this list. And it really wouldn't represent, what your chances are of dying on the roads in those states. All right, let's take a look. Number 10, New Mexico. The Land of Enchantment is a state that's in desperate need of some road repair. They're one of the top ones for poor infrastructure and bad roads. They also have a real problem with people throwing back one too many and hitting the roads. They have a lot of alcohol-related deaths on their roads. There's a lot of open roads here. People get going too fast and bad stuff happens. But there is good news in New Mexico. Over the last 3 years, they've seen a drop in anything related to substance abuse, just about. So there's a positive there. But right now, people are getting croaked on the road at a pretty good rate. That rate is 1.53 for every 100 million miles driven. Number 9, Montana. Big Sky Country is like the poster child for driving and drinking on the open road. They do a lot of it here, and it shows in the stats. Montana every single year is in the top 5 when it comes to driving and drinking offenses. And on top of it, like I said, they got a lot of open roads that really need some work. Their infrastructure isn't in the best shape. The cities, not so bad. Their cities aren't that big, so it's easy to maintain the roads, but their highways, they got a lot of them, and some of them are way out in the middle of nowhere, so, they don't get the attention they probably need. From 2019 to 2020, Montana had 1.54 fatalities per every 100 million miles driven. Number 8. Oklahoma. The Sooner State is another state that has a reputation for a little heavy drinking on the roads. They also have a reputation for having really bad drivers. I saw one guy describe it as, this is like the only state, I think, that gives licenses to people that are legally blind. Can you imagine that? See some guy with those dark glasses on, hauling ass down the road, his German Shepherds in the seat next to him, just howling and shaking, hitting mailboxes, driving off the road. The cops finally pull him over. They find a blind guy and a seeing eye dog with a bladder control problem. Oklahoma, again, wide open like New Mexico and Montana, so they got some roads that need some work. Oklahoma sees 1.56 road fatalities for every 100 million miles driven. Number 7. Kentucky. The Bluegrass State should really change its name to the Red Asphalt State. Remember that movie, Driver's Ed, back in, I don't know, maybe you're not old enough, but in the 80s we had to sit through this movie about drunk driving and just deaths on the road to get your license, and it was called Red Asphalt. It scared the crap out of me. I may be the only kid in that class that actually focused on it, learned from it. I've never been in a serious car accident. I've never got a drunk driving thing, nothing like that. So the movie at least worked for one person. It's called Red Asphalt. Never watch it. Kentucky is known for making some great bourbon, and apparently the locals like to enjoy that beverage on the road or something. I don't know. While researching this video, I contacted 3 truck drivers that drive all across the country and asked them what are the worst states. For some reason, Indiana's one of them, but they all said Kentucky. Like Oklahoma, Kentucky sees 1.56 road fatalities for every 100 million miles driven. Number 6, Alaska. I think it's kind of weird that they're on this list and they probably should be skipped over, but we're going by the stat and their stat puts them here. In reality, they average under 100 road fatalities every single year. They have so few people, there's not a lot of opportunity to get croaked on the highway, even though people hit moose all the frickin' time. Most of the states on this list average between 600 and like 900 road fatalities every single year, so this one's kind of weird. But their fatalities per 100 million miles driven puts them on this list. Alaska has a lot of open road and a lot of underdeveloped roads. I mean, there's some serious roads that get a lot of traffic that are almost dirt in a lot of areas. But Alaska sees 1.57 road fatalities for every 100 million miles driven. Number 5, West Virginia. The Mountain State has it all. Substance abuse problems, crumbling infrastructure, mountain roads, and dudes named Judd who thinks speed limits and stop signs are just a government conspiracy to try and control you. The good news, if you do sail off one of those mountain roads into the brush and as you're laying there taking your last breath, you got some good scenery to look at. I mean, it's amazing in this state. West Virginia might be doing a little bit better in the coming years because they really look like they're turning the corner on all their substance abuse and opioid problems. I think in the future they're going to be a much better state than they are right now, and a lot of that has to do with people are thinking about moving there again. Actually got an email today from a gentleman who left Idaho, wanted to get on the East Coast, and decided West Virginia was for him. But right now people are getting croaked on the highway at a pretty good rate. Actually, that rate is 1.57 per every 100 million miles driven, just like Alaska. Just no moose. I don't think they have moose in West Virginia. Nope, no moose in West Virginia. Number 4, Arizona. The Grand Canyon State has a reputation for having bad drivers and bad infrastructure. The roads kind of suck here. When it comes to the drivers, I don't think it's the actual natives from Arizona, the locals. I think it's all the influx of retirees and people coming from other states that start driving there and they're just not used to it. I think that plays a big part of what's going on with Arizona and their fatalities for every 100 million miles driven. There's a lot to be said for familiarity with the roads that you're, living around or been around for a long time. You know what I mean? You live in a place for long enough and no matter where you go, you just kind of show up there. You don't really remember driving because you just know the roads and the routes so well. You just kind of end up there and you're like, oh, I don't remember driving here. Happens to me all the time. Get me too far out of town and I'm like turning into my grandmother. What was that road sign? Where am I? I just want to buy a puzzle. I don't trust Amazon or the internet. The road fatality rate in Arizona is 1.59 for every 100 million miles driven. Number 3, Louisiana. Yep, the Pelican State made another list for suckage. Their roads suck. Their people apparently don't know how to drive in most cases. I'm not sure if they added in being shot from another car while driving down the highway, but that does happen in the Shreveport and Baton Rouge areas. I mean, that happens all over the United States occasionally. They seem to really enjoy doing that there. It's like an event. Louisiana is also one of those states that has a serious drinking and driving problem. Their infrastructure is crumbling and they just need a lot of money being put into this state, especially when it comes to educating people on driving and drinking and infrastructure. Or just pass a law where all they could drive is like golf carts and bumper cars. Louisiana has a road fatality rate of 1.59 for every 100 million miles driven. Number 2, Mississippi. Wait, is somebody pranking me? Every single time I do a negative video about states, Mississippi is there. This state can't suck this bad. It's almost like they're trying to. What does Mississippi excel in? I mean, besides swampland and girls fleeing the state on their 18th birthday. Them and Idaho. I don't know what it is about those states, but as soon as these girls turn 18, there's a high percentage of them that just get out of the state. The good news is almost any state those girls move to, they've got a lower chance of not dying on the highway. Like most southern states, Mississippi has a serious drinking and driving problem and crumbling roads. Magnolia State has a rate of 1.63 road fatalities for every 100 million miles driven. All right, before we get to number 1, don't forget we have another channel called On This Day. There is a link down below. We would love it if you went there. Check out some videos, subscribe, give some videos big thumbs up, just like this channel. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, South Carolina. South Carolina is really 2 different states almost. You got the low country and the coastal cities, which are in most cases really nice places to live. They got some really nice things going on there and they don't have a lot of road fatalities. If you drew a line from North Augusta to Columbia to Florence and just put like a border there, above that is where it starts getting ugly with road fatalities. I'm not saying the rest of the state is immune from people dying on the road, but it gets pretty bad in that half of the state. And a lot of it has to do with poorly maintained roads. Driving under the influence is another big problem in South Carolina. My advice, stay in the low country, from like Charleston down to Hilton Head area. That's much better in almost every single stat. South Carolina averages 1.83 road fatalities per every 100 million miles driven. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, be safe, and be nice to each other.